Well, hello, everybody. It says that we are live. I'll hit this button here and let me turn off that button there. So welcome, Soul Tribe. It is Tuesday.
Hi,
Tuesday is a joy day, by the way. So this is a joyous day. If you're here, then favor truly is favoring you because this is the second look. You know who I am. My beautiful co-host, Miss Trina Phoenix, is with me. And today we are joined by someone who I adore. Just adore your energy, Kaz. Kaz Hawks. So welcome, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Don't be shy, you know.
I just want to make sure Cass can get a word in edgewise.
Well, this is going to be it's exciting times. I mean, it really is. So
It is.
let me just speak favor over us all. And because that means we're all empowered to prosper. And well, prosperity is, whatever you're lacking, then prosperity will come in and make that. So as we say, be of service to others, and we are prospering. So, all right, who do I start with? So, Kaz, you are our special guest. Haven't seen you I was telling you before we came live. What was it, Trina? The last time she was on with us.
Yeah.
It's about 4 months ago.
4 months ago. Yeah.
I just told you about my new job, and I've been working out 4 months now.
So you digging the job?
It's has good days and bad days.
I love that. It's like
every day I thank whoever for being alive.
Right? Yes.
Because it's driving, it's crazy. It's really crazy out there on the roads, and I drive from city to city.
I can only imagine.
It's full on, yeah.
The energy is a muck. What's that, Kaz?
You have to drive with a bit of oomph.
Yes. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
What was that movie that Steve Martin was in? Was it To Live and Die in LA or something? And anyway, they had at the rush hour where everyone had it's like pull your gun out day.
Oh, geez.
So everyone's, and today that's become reality. I mean,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I saw 2 people freak out in the grocery store yesterday. It was Sunday. I mean, this woman chased in this man in the store, and they were just screaming and yelling at it. It was insanity. I'm seeing people freak out a lot.
It's like someone's flicked a switch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
It is like someone's flicked a switch, and everyone sort of goes nutty in the day when they flick the switch. It's like
it's there. It's like Lynn and I were talking about that last night. I mean, it's like suddenly craziness has become the new normal. It's like the movie WALL-E. Red is the new blue. But wait a minute, they're still crazy, right? Well, of course they are, but that's the new normal. All right, and they call us crazy. All right, sure, I don't know.
Don't you think it's being done on purpose? Because I think we're coming into a place where the potentials for us as humanity are I think miraculous things are going to start to happen, and I think that this is a very understood thing. So I think it's absolutely necessary that they can get the mental instability of the race on board, because if they don't, they're going to lose it. And I'm pretty sure this is exactly where we're at, because this is consciousness.
There is the thought that there is right now, we are in the midst of the transformation. And the evidence of that is, number one, our magnetic poles are now hauling ass. I think it's the Maverick Observatory, those folks over there who they've been tracking this each month. So now we're 11 months from this 40-degree line, which their theory is that once it passes that, the magnetic north, then it's going to just haul ass. Yeah. The other thing is that with that we have a depletion, and it kind of varies, where people now are being exposed to low magnetic fields, and low magnetic fields have a direct effect on the lower emotions, the lower vibrations. Then with that, we have now these openings where the cosmic rays are coming in, and it's what's happening to people in planes, pilots. I have two friends that are pilots, and it's becoming a real problem because people are in fact freaking out at 35,000 feet. Not a good place to be freaking out. Finally, here, and it will hit us Thursday. Our sun is becoming very active. A filament broke loose yesterday, and it was real interesting. If any of you go back and look at the Soho frames, go over to Ben Davidson's over Suspicious Observer, but look at that filament. It was the sign of the snake, and this thing went boosh, and it will hit us on Thursday. It's going to impact us at a strong geomagnetic storm. So yeah.
Wow.
There was one that they didn't even know was coming, wasn't there? Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
That came in, and someone got some amazing pictures on Mr. MBB 333.
Yep.
Of the aura, what they called?
The aura.
Light.
Yep. The aurora. Yep. And so and I mean, this all affects us.
Yes.
It does. And here's my take on this. I mentioned this over on Chris Matthews' show, Forbidden Knowledge News, that someone is projecting this. We're all living it. And quite frankly, I don't know about y'all, but and those in the chat room and those who are watching it, thank you for hitting the like button, feed the machine. But I don't like what they're bringing into reality. And the fact is, this reality they're bringing in, it started with a thought. So my attitude is, if the natural law does exist, the 7 principles, then we have the ability, Trina, Kaz, to actually counter that.
Well, it absolutely is a fact. We just don't understand that we are creating all that we see. And we need to really take some responsibility for that. And through the media, through the education, through the religions, we've all been put on these different tracks of consciousness. And we've always been taught about that, we're not good enough, and that we need somebody above us to help show us the way or guide us. We've never been taught to utilize our own internal guidance system, our wisdom. And all of us have these abilities, these gifts. They're completely natural for us to remote view, telepathy, all these things. We were built with these things. They're not something you acquire or aspire. They're already present within you. It's just a matter of tapping into it, because your connection, your antenna is connected to the outside world, and you have no connection to the inner world, the inner you, which is the connection to the whole entire universe. So when you figure that out, you start to actively create instead of creating by default, because everybody on this planet, they're creating, but they're creating the script by the ones who are writing the program. So they're creating the scripts they've been given. So they've been given a script, say a religion, a belief system, whatever it is, a monetary system, whatever you value and you believe in, that is the script you've been running. But who gave you that script? Not yourself. You're following a script that somebody else gave you. But nonetheless, because you believe it, you manifest it into this world, and now you are writing and running that script.
Well, history is nothing more than a thought. And because the fact of the matter is, if you're saying you're right, you're reading from someone, let's say from Socrates or from Plato. I mean, choose your character. And we're taught and told that this is what they said, but there's no one alive that could validate that.
Mm-mm.
But what we do know what that does, it plants that thought form in your head. And that's where this whole subject, as we now know, I was talking about the Zenith Corporation yesterday in the book, of the egregores, that what they discovered was that we have a natural ability of being telepathic.
Yes.
That we use it every day.
Every day.
But we're taught that that's not telepathy. We're taught that that is emotional response or a programmed response. And we buy into it. And that's why radio is so popular. That's why the movies are so popular. As you and I were talking, Trina, before, Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood is the most darkest left-hand path magic there is. It is total mind control.
Absolutely. And that's why it's focused on children.
Oh, yeah. And now look at it. We now have this thing. I was reading this paper in psychology that there now have, you're getting more days when you realize 40 years now of data on what the programming has done with video games and how that has led our species. Now I didn't realize this, but particularly those of the 30s and younger, this is a reality for them that my generation doesn't share with them. They're in a place that I have no idea where they are. This is really odd because the thing about it is in that realm, they're building egregores as well. The thing about it is they're bringing them back into this realm. This is where it gets some really crazy shit, man.
As above, so below. They're having the thoughts of these things in their mind, and that thought, because they're in a physical body, brings that thought into this physical reality. It's that simple.
Yeah, and I think it's an answer, or at least a potential causation of an effect. Because the thing about in the video games and the immersive reality world, you know what rules there? Death.
Occult. Yeah, and occult.
Yeah, well, the occultism is everywhere. Unfortunately, what pisses me off about it, and I've seen some of what they're doing, they've hijacked the occult.
Oh, they always do.
Thank you, Trina.
Always do. Always.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
frustrating.
say, these kids that are playing these games, what is their reality like when they're asleep? What happens then? Because obviously they fall asleep with all this information in their head. So I wonder what their astral plane is like, and the astral when they go to sleep with all that crazy video shit.
Well, I have an idea, studying this for the number of years, is we're seeing a lot of what we would call a soul being captured. We are not equipped to deal with this, what we've created, this, what we call a digital reality. It now rules our world. It has become so strong. I was telling Lynn this last night. I hate the cell phone. I'll put it in another room and I'll put it on vibrate. And I just hate being around it. And she said, well, she says it's how we communicate today. And I said, but honey, you're not getting it. I said, that's a black mirror. And I said, the thing about it is that it's emanating out. The true magician works with a black mirror outside going in. The black mirrors, which we call smartphones that have taken us over, it comes from within out. And it's stronger than any heroin, any addictive drug.
I don't even like touching it. My fingertips feel different when I'm touching it. I hate it.
Me too. Me too, Cass.
Yeah.
I mean, when I
Everything's
found
gone.
out that now they actually have apps that actually keep, the spiritual portals open.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what? And I'm thinking to myself, I said, this is why knowledge can become so dangerous.
Yes.
I mean, they're using something that it's very obvious they have no idea really what they're dealing with.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I think they're making as many connections as they can from fourth dimensional entities to third D, because I think everything is shifting. So I think a lot of the fourth dimensional entities are bailing down to the third dimensional through the use of humanity so they can escape the ascension. I think that's going to be taking place because they could probably still exist on the fourth dimensional when Earth rises to fifth and fourth, they might still be able, because if they drop down, I'm seeing a big transfer of energies because this planet, I'm pretty sure, is getting ready to light up.
Yeah, I think the countdown clock is running, and
Yeah.
that kind of goes with what yesterday what I was proposing, just to let everybody know. There are 30 people that have emailed me. I haven't emailed any of you back, and I just want to let everyone know what is going to happen next. I will be making a video. Then I will be sending it out to those who have sent me an email. And if you haven't sent me an email, please do. I can't read it in the comments, so send me the email, and we'll start taking it from there. Because unless we start countering, and individually, we're doing this already. I mean, Julie Payne is the prime example of that. She emits this aura of positivity, of change, but in a manner that brings forth life. And that is something, as we talked about on the show Saturday. If we could capture that, bottle it,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
she's like
mean,
the essence of Mother Nature herself.
she really could play that role, couldn't she?
I'm telling you, she does.
We love you, Julianne.
Yes, she
Love
is Mother
you.
Nature. Yes, she's so connected to nature.
Yes, I just see this. I'm going,
Yeah,
yeah, it's okay.
yeah,
Uh,
yes.
but so what they proved, Zenith, NBC, later CIA, is that you can actually manipulate an individual's telepathic abilities without them not even knowing it. And this is what we were just talking about, the black box. Everybody, I was at the grocery store, I've been cooking all morning, and here I found the workers, they're hiding in back the darkened aisles, kind of. And what are they doing? They're on their
They're on the
phones.
phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a head-on collision here that took place, and they're finding out what happened. Person was on their phone, and so yeah, it's like you're going, okay. And Kaz, you drive. You're as a truck driver,
I've
Big
seen
Al.
so
Yeah.
many accidents recently. I see 2 or 3 a day,
Uh-huh.
and some days I count the ambulances 4, 5, 6, 7 a day. I see,
Yep.
and it's all on the big loop roads coming back into the cities where there's like 4 or 5 lanes. People aren't even looking, and I look across and they're on the phones.
Yep.
They are.
Yep.
It's like I'm looking across and I'm going, get off your phone, get off your phone.
Yep.
Because one day you could be coming at me, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
I
I'm
mean,
constantly weaving in and out of people that are just all over the road, yeah?
Yeah, it's like they're
They're just
completely
not there.
drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I read that a guy in San Francisco was asleep driving a Tesla. It was on auto
Wow.
drive and almost killed a cop. And I seen some of the advanced productions for Mercedes. Mercedes sees in the next 10 years autonomous driving.
Oh, God.
and
Yeah,
and their
I
cars
don't
are
want
being
one of
designed.
those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah,
I
and
don't want one of those.
it's weird
I
because
like to be in control, man. I like to
Me
be in
too.
control.
apparently you're not going to be allowed that. And So their answer, you can already see it. What they're saying is that the future is that they're showing the console board is now going to be immersive reality, because you don't need to worry about driving. You won't bitch about being in a traffic jam anymore. You probably won't even be aware. Exactly. Thank you, Kaz. You got it right.
Yeah, because you won't be able to leave your square.
Oh my God.
That's there you go. Yes.
That's exactly what they want. So you won't be able to leave your square. The only way you'll be able to leave it is if you have permission, and they want your whole reality.
Doesn't this sound like a prison?
That's exactly what they're creating. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. People don't see it, but that's exactly what this is. And it's captured the mind. See?
Yeah.
But
now this is
gave it up.
But Trina, we are the mind virus. Or if anything, we would be the antivirus.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
we present a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be a big problem.
But see, that's why, is because we're not able to get mind controlled as deeply. Somehow, some way we break the programs. They say you break MLK programs like every few years. You'll have a wave where your soul will fight, and it fights to try to break all the programs and get you back on track. So like we must have a really strong reset button with that or something. I don't know.
I'm reading this book called I think it's pronounced the Wetiko. Have you heard of it? Wetiko. It's the Native Americans' belief, and actually it goes further back, that the Wetiko is a mind consciousness virus, and it never assumes physical form. It affects us up here.
Yeah.
And it is the one that controls the program. I was telling Lynn last night, I no longer look at a political party as the problem, because we all know that the wizard was standing behind the curtain, right? We know that.
Yep.
We just didn't know who the freak the wizard was, or wizardess. But it is the thought now, and there's been enough experiments done on this, is that humanity is infected by this virus, and it controls everything. But it's losing control, and this is where we become the threat, because there's people of our kind who are resisting it, and it can no longer. It's in us. Its entrails are everywhere, but they're becoming less impacted.
Yep. We're understanding the power of consciousness and the power of thought. So that's how the first layer of protection is just that. It's just having an awareness of it. Having an awareness that people want to drive your consciousness. They want to tell you how to choose and how to trend and how to live and how to believe and how to pray and how to eat and how to live your life.
When you get like a tolerance, like when you build up a tolerance against stuff, like when you get a habit and you get a tolerance, don't you? So you need more. That's how I see the powers that be. They need more and more power to get us, because we've got a tolerance against them now. That's the way I feel.
Well, the thing I'm learning, and we're going to be discovering this as our group, we're going to be actually creating an actual thought form, and it's going to get interesting. But as I look at this, so individually, we all have these thought forms that we've created. And Kaz, you were talking about this before we went on air, is that it can create habits, things that our personality would not normally be in unison with. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you defeat an egregore, you no longer are subject to that influence unless you create another one in its image.
Mm-hmm.
This is revolutionary for me because it begins to say, well, it's how other people overcome what they say, things that were a hindrance to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was
and
laughing at it
it's
earlier.
this.
I found myself laughing at it
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yes.
couldn't believe I'd fell for it, and I was laughing at it, going, ha 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 ha, I got rid of you, ha ha ha, like that.
You know, isn't it so funny?
And it
It's
felt
just,
really good. Yeah, it felt
yeah,
really good.
it's as
Liberating.
simple as a change of mind. It's all you're doing. It's a change of mind. You're
Yeah,
seeing something from a
and
different
it's
way.
like you've got free of something which you didn't realise was clinging onto you.
Yes.
And it was like, wow. And that's when I was just laughing in its face as if to say, fuck you. You know what I mean?
I like
Yeah,
that. Yes,
I
Yeah.
indeed.
do.
Well, so
I
what?
do.
And trying to add on to that is that, for instance, like while I'm cooking, and or doing the dishes and what have you. So now I am giving 24-hour praise of gratitude. I read something about Christy Brinkley that I thought was very interesting. Do you know that that's what she does in her daily, as she calls it, her daily mantra?
Mm-hmm.
He says that she lives in a perpetual state of gratitude.
That's it.
And it
Attitude of
has this,
gratitude.
yes. And she says it's one of the key reasons why she has maintained her youth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. It's your belief system, and it goes all the way. And you know, everybody is so focused on uh, what other people think. And when you focus on what other people think, other people are always cutting other people down. So if you adopt that, you're constantly in a defensive mode. The only way to overcome that is when you start to appreciate even your own being. When you start to appreciate yourself, like you said, you give thanks to every cell in your body. When you're in the shower and you give praise to your temple and say, thank you, you're the most good looking, beautiful, wonderful thing I've ever seen. And you work so perfectly and you give me the means to express in this reality. And wow, you're awesome. That
Got it,
is,
baby. Own it, man.
yeah, that is magic right there. It's celebrating creator as created. And that's
Yeah.
powerful because that's
Very
what we are.
powerful.
Yeah, we are created from creator, and as a created, we create. So it's all a chain, but they've been utilizing our creative powers for their benefit for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when you find out these things, you go, number one, for me, it's like, yeah, all right, guilty. Yeah, I was really, yeah, had me. And then you go, all right, so what's really the purpose here? I mean, what's the end game? I mean, if you're spending all this time creating these traps for me, that somehow are going to hinder, you know, resist my development moving forward. So if you're spending that much time on me, well, that means then I must be pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't waste your time on me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
we are the source of the force that runs the entire system.
Yeah. Yeah. And it starts with the individual.
Yeah.
And then when you figure that out, then you go, then I got pissed off because it was like, you know what? I could have been doing this 20 years ago. I mean, I could have really been, and I know everything plays out in its own proper time, so they say, but if they're hindering me, then that means they've hindered my growth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the natural law, those sons of bitches owe me then. And I'm going to come collect the debt. They owe me. They owe me at least 20 years. That's the way I look at it.
You know, I used to have that concept, but I think I've found it kind of sucks, but it was
That's
kind
like
of
a
cool to
medicine. Well,
me.
is this going to hurt?
Yeah, it's like
Well,
kind of, it does. It's like, it's like people blame God for this and God for that. And they're like, they're like, you had the power to think about whatever you wanted. So whatever you did, you chose it by choosing your thoughts. So take some responsibility for your own creation. It's just not gonna work.
Well, that's true if you
Yeah, I
know.
was like, oh man.
I
So all
mean,
that shit, oh man. Okay.
it's like grooming a person. I mean, they
Yeah.
don't know they're being groomed. So you
No.
can't blame them for something that they don't
Right.
know about.
Right. Right. And
It's
it's like they're the only retribution that you will get back, or the only it comes from your own self. It's because everything that happens is a product of your consciousness. Whether or not you're allowing it to be driven by somebody else is still ultimately going to be coming down on you. It's always going to come back to you, because we are so powerful. And that was why it was like, you don't understand. You will be held accountable for all of it, because you have no idea. You are so powerful. And when would you ever finally get it? When will you do it? When will you activate what you are and truly be what you were intended to be? I was told since I was 3 years old by the Lord, you came here to be like Jesus. And that's not you, that's a collective.
See
It's a
that the Jesus is a thought
mass.
form. I mean,
It
but I
is.
just want to say something about the
It is.
responsibility
It
part.
is.
Even Solomon's proverb says that when you catch a thief, the penalty is they owe you sevenfold. So what I'm saying, I don't have a problem with responsibility. I don't have a problem
Right.
with it at all.
Right. All
But
right.
but I can only be responsible to that which I know. As the
Oh,
sign to the great temple of the mystery school says, be true to thy own self.
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
the point is, I can only accept responsibility for that which I'm aware of.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. It's just the fact that this is why these thought forms, they become so dominant, and
Mm-hmm.
mankind, humanity is so ignorant of it. Um,
Yeah.
I tell you, there's times, and I told Lynn this, I said, there's times this place just, it just bums me out when I look at it, because there's so much work to be done and there are so few workers. It's just,
Yeah. You
it's,
know, it can happen though, really in the blink of an eye too, in a lot of references. That's how they control this matrix, is within the blink of an eye. They put a collective thought form out into the matrix, and millions of people see it, and they take it on as real, as truth. And then they turn it into a belief, which is a creative essence, and it becomes substance in this reality. If we
yeah,
were all to start to um, not allow their program to create for us, we would change things.
yeah,
Literally,
but we
it
have
would
to be
happen.
action minded by that. Tony
Yeah,
Robbins did an
it would.
interview. He
Yeah,
says, positive thought is bullshit.
it is.
You
Well,
listen,
it
if you
isn't,
can't
but it
walk
is.
it, then
Yeah,
don't talk it.
yeah. You have to
That's,
be able to do it. And
yeah.
that's the thing. It's most people don't, they don't put the action behind it. They do all the other stuff, but the most important thing is nothing is real until you feel it, because the feeling part is the energy part. So there has to be energy put into these things. The energy has to be put into it, because this is an energy system. Thought is so powerful here. It
Oh,
is the
it's the
ultimate. Yeah,
singleness of it. Yeah.
yeah, it is the
Yeah.
ultimate thing. So right now we have all been controlled with mind control. That's a hard program to break many people from, but many have broken free from it. So once this power of many being out of the full mind control program, they're breaking out in all different kinds of ways. It's millions of different ways of it, but it's happening. And I think it's going to continue, because our DNA is unlocking with this new light, Wayne. This new light that's coming in, which we all know this new light is coming in. And I keep seeing, like, we're going to be restarring. We're going to be creating a new star, like in the stars, earth, air, fire, water, ether. It's a new beginning. So this is going to be powerful, and we are
So the
going to
key
see.
here is, I agree that many are here, but the problem is in the equation is
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah, I could have a billion But the problem is, if it's in $1 bills, it's going to be very cumbersome. My point
Yeah.
is that, you see, I do believe that there is an awakening and awareness happening. The transformation is already taking place. But here's been the challenge, is that you have a million single lights that don't know how to gravitate to one another. Now, today we have a medium like this, but unfortunately, even the medium has been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see that many channels out there, or, and in fact, outlets that say, well, let's go and start going and let's create our own thought form. Let's come in together. Let's follow the experiments that they did back in the early 20s and what they discovered.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they did their best. And in fact, we know our government took over that knowledge. It became what was mind control. That's what they use for targeted individuals. It's how they target us in the machine.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, and here's the interesting thing, the books that I've read, they say, well, no, you can't, you shouldn't be creating these things. And I'm going, well, but your argument is that they're already causing havoc to begin with. So if we're the ones who created it, then why can't we create that which will serve us and accomplish what we see as more of a positive pushback instead of war, maybe compromise? You know, that's
Yeah.
what my point is. It's not the
Yeah.
individual. Listen, a person X, because they say that they're a belief system of a religion or politics, to another person, that invokes a bigotry, a biasness. They say, well,
Mm-hmm.
that person believes that. I can't believe that. I can't work with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then, but both A and B are aware and awake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm seeing this experiment that we're going to be working and actually creating purposely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is, again, if you continue to do the same thing and expecting a different result, that's insanity.
Yep.
So anyway,
Yep. You know, Wayne, everything in the system is polarized.
yes.
So,
Oh,
yeah. So if you
even
look
more
at,
so now. Maybe that's because the poles are moving. I don't know.
I think it is. I think you're right. This is, like I said, this is as above, so below. So everything we're experiencing on the micro is happening on the macro. And that's
Mm.
why they reflect each other, because it's a reflection of us. So we are going to consciously choose to come together to put positive things into the system. And when you put positivity into the system, when most of the people are putting negativity into the system, of course, it's going to be negatively dominated and ruled. But when you counter it, that's when you go more into a balanced existence. And that's what we're trying to seek, is the balance. And right now, with the changes we're going to get ready to go through with this new ages, new Aquarius, new part of the new, it's like moving to a new number on the clock. It's a big deal. New light, new things. So instead of letting the darkness drive us to this new birthing, we need to add what we want. And that's going to help balance for the whole of good. And you know, the child prophet said that we came here to turn Satan into the greatest source of love. Wayne, that just simply means the managing of the ego, putting the ego in check, not destroying it, not getting rid of
No, you
it,
don't. Yeah,
balancing it.
that's
Yeah,
fallacy to say
balancing it.
to, you know,
Yes.
if you destroy your ego, you've destroyed who you are.
Pretty much.
I
And you have no
mean,
protection. If somebody's going to just stab you,
and
you're going to
then
go,
that freaks me
okay.
out because I think of the Borg, you know, and it's like,
Yes.
I don't want to be part of the collective. I don't mind being a part
Yes.
of a group, but
Yes.
damn, I don't want, you know, it's like, I like who I am. I spent
Right.
decades making this, man. I mean, this is a
Absolutely.
cool, groovy thing I got here.
Yeah.
Look at Kaz. It's
Yeah, I
true.
see. I just have this thing where I've seen so many times, like I'm a cell in the body of this body of creation that we're in, which I think is a sun, a sun, and I think there's many suns. So there's many bodies you can go into that's what I've seen, and it's really big. But so as a cell in the body of creator, and then in me, all the creators here are in my body. So you guys are all cells in my body. So that's what I see. So as above, so below, as the macro expresses within the micro. So like we're all collectively connected through that cellular network of being conceived and born on earth. So when we leave here, it might be a completely different thing, but I see that that's how we're all connected. And that's why they call it the cell phone, is because we're connected through each other, because we're all in each other's
black
cells.
box, Trina.
Yeah.
It's a black box. Let's just be candid with it. So
Oh, it is.
here's the thing that I saw in one of my meditations is that you see it all begins with the thought. When a thought becomes adapted to the thoughts of many, and what I saw, and it was, I kind of laughed when I saw this, but it was very odd. I actually saw these hands joining across the land.
Aw.
And these hands were, and I, it's interesting because what I saw was this unity, but it only lasted for a very brief second.
Wow.
Now I interpret that as it's going to manifest, and I think people are going to have that choice, and it's not going to be one you're going to wait to think, well, let me think about this. You're going to have to make that decision. Either you're going to be a part of the solution, the alternative thought, or you're going to stay. And this sounds a little weird, but I see us being, I don't know what this means, but there was this catching away. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Because you see, eventually, the darkness that prevails will reject the light. The light will seek to consume the darkness, but even then, when the darkness rejects the light can only do what the light can only do. And the light will find another more suitable place for which it can become thriving and growing. And like produces like.
Yeah.
And I think that I think we're at this point. There is going to be the reckoning. It's here.
Yeah.
The question is, what side? And I say, if this is what they have dealt us, then let's give them a run for their money.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm a rebel. Kaz, you're a rebel. I can see it all over you, girl.
I'm a proper rebel. Yeah.
But that's what I see.
Yeah. We're all gonna die, Wayne. Let's just choose how we're gonna do it.
I say, go
big. What? When I was thinking in the car today, I said, I really don't care if I die now. I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest.
I saw you were saying
I really
that.
Am.
I was saying that to the goddess. I said, it doesn't matter to me anymore here. There's a job to be done. But the anticipation is I'm going to be going home.
Yeah, Wayne, and I think that's the whole shift that hasn't been done before. I think losing the fear of death, I don't think they've ever been able to, humanity's ever been able to accomplish that part. I think that was the impossible. Doing the impossible was not being afraid of death. I really think it might
I'll
be
say
that
this,
simple.
Trina, there are many who are listening to this conversation. Our transition will be literally in a blink of an eye. It's going to be less than that. We will not experience the tunnel. We're not going to experience the dark void. Many of us are going, it's already been prepared. It is literally walking through one dimension to the other. You're going to be very consciously aware of what has happened to you. And as it happens, you're going to be it's going to be just that quick.
Yep. I think I agree 100%.
Yeah. So we got a job to do here. And, listen, this group identified itself as a soul tribe. And we have people that are still with us in the Astral. Brian, just a number of people that I know of. There's at least 20. And they're doing the work over there, which is telling me why it's time now. They've been preparing this because unless it's prepared in the Astral, it's going to be very difficult for it to manifest into the physical.
It won't.
Thank you. It won't.
It's thought first. Has to be thought first.
And so my thought is, as the group comes together, and once the group's together, folks, I'm just going to tell you, we won't be letting other people in. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. If you want to be a part of this, you need to let me know today. Otherwise, but here's the point. We're going to be building something that I think for many of us will be a legacy that will be left for those who come behind us. They're going to build upon what we've built upon.
Yeah, we're bringing back the ancient genetics,
the
ancient ways. And the only way the ancient genetics will wake up is when we wake them up within our own bodies. Yes. And that's our work. That's why Temple of Delphi, know thyself. When you understand that the work has got to be done within your own temple first, and then that light will be expressed in this world, and other people that are ready to receive that will automatically absorb it. But we are the antenna. We are the ones that radiate and emanate these light codes first, because we activate them within our own being first.
It's like Paul Atreides said in Dune, the sleeper has awakened.
Yeah.
And I think for many of us, we were purposely asleep. Yes. I think that if we had awakened too early, we would have, unfortunately, our energy would have been dispelled because there would not have been a receptacle to receive it. Whereas today,
they just told me most of you wouldn't have survived. Do you have any idea how much protection we had on many of you?
Ooh, I know it's odd that you're saying that. I agree with the spirits, because that's exactly what I was saying at the sink today. I was looking back on my life and I was giving thanksgiving for the fact of all the times that I should have died.
Right, and they thank you. Yes.
It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes. And I'm saying, thank you. I had to tell my spirit guide today. I said, I so love and adore you. I said, I don't give you enough credit. And I said, you and I have known each other from almost the beginning. And I said, my friend, we will know each other in the next journeys. But I just said, thank you for the protection, the favor that you have shown me all of my life. And that's what I contributed to. It's favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I do. I think the spirit guide is like when in the Bible speaks of the guardian angel. To me, it's one and the same. It's the ability of that angle of light always watching over you, infusing you with information, protection, guidance, all the things that you need. It's available to you through that angel of light that is directly associated to you individually, because it's a vibrational frequency match.
Bingo.
Utilize
this is what's happening to this group. I mean, Kaz, you and I were talking, I've had you on my spirit mind, others as well, but and you could sense it as well.
I could. I've been meaning to write to you for ages, and then you got in touch with me. So
eventually it happens. I mean, I get behind on email, but if I thought to myself, well, if we could become connected, and this is what this experiment will do. It will, as we grow, we will actually. I remember Randy's father, that when you were at his celebration, that we're going to be producing synaptic pathways in the ethereal. And that's what's going to happen, folks, as we go through these exercises, and they're very simple, but the real purpose is that we begin to form connections. And some of us will see it almost very quickly.
Interesting. I keep seeing, Wayne, I got to share this. I've seen it like 3 times now. From the smallest part will the greatest design manifest. And then I keep seeing a tetrahedron and a tiny little triangle. And I've been, getting this star information now for days. So I think a part of this too, we might need to manifest and work on, is the power of symbols. So we're going to need to work with some symbols, but they're telling me very basic and simple, because foundational stones, they're simple. So don't know why I keep seeing that. From the smallest of all things will come the greatest results.
You know, when you
Hearing
use
it.
that word simple, that's what describes this group. We're simple people.
Yeah.
You know, we really are.
And it will be the saving grace.
I mean, we are spirit beings. I don't see this group so much as souls. I see us as light beings. But the thing about it is that we're, as they would say, pagans. You know, many of us are just country folk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
many of us grew up on farms. We know what that is. We know the power of the earth, how it grows miraculously. I mean, yeah. So someone called me a pagan in an email here not too long ago. And I said, well, thank you. That's a compliment. I said, damn it, if I had a patch, I'd put it on. You know,
Right.
I am
like
a
country
pagan.
folk. Yeah, I like country folk.
It's like,
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't so
That's
damn
what I
afraid of
mean.
what's that, huh?
Sometimes these words, they've been so twisted into negative
Oh, yeah.
connotations, just like occult, and pagan. We don't even know the origins of the meanings of the word, but then we've associated these false identities to these words. I think a way to break a lot of those spells is to focus on restarring. They keep telling me we need to reassociate vibration to a lot of words, because words are angles that create this reality. From the smallest of things is the greatest change. So something to that. So I'm sure we'll know more as we need.
We're being guided. I mean, if those of you who are, well, I don't see that many new people here, but I see a lot of us who have been down this for a while. We have been actually just self-initiating ourselves as a group. You know, and then let me tell you, this group it's a very tight group. There is a core to this group that, people they have formed deep bonds with one another.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because, as I said yesterday, the thing that most of these channels, and whether it's YouTube, social platform, they're not doing, they've allowed a thought form to take control of their channel, their energy. And I said, we're better than that. I don't need a substitute or a cheap imitation. We're powerful enough in this group, we can create our own that others will copy.
I think when you truly start to understand the self and the power of self, and that power comes from something much greater than you, but it's still a part of you, and that part of you is eternal and immortal, and it's way above and beyond this expression that we are currently right now. When you learn that, I think quite kind of we already are that.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And when those come together in cooperation of thought and heart, it will manifest immediately. They keep showing me too, don't forget that all things begin with the sacred rhythm. So it has something to do with all of us intentionally connecting our heartbeats. There's something to this. They keep showing me, why do you think they always would begin all ceremony with the dancing? It sets the rhythm. It puts the energy in motion. There's something to this too. We need to integrate sound.
Kind of like, forming our own Schumann resonance. The group will produce its own frequency, and we'll see it. Many of us who will see in the astral plane will see it, and we're going to produce our own unique
it's like
light.
The heartbeat of Mother Earth, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I keep seeing, and I keep seeing it turns into a tube of light, and it connects through the earth, and it creates a new vibrational Torah field, and it's through us connecting the hearts, the heartbeat, because that's the organic rhythm. The earth and our hearts, they're the same.
That is, it's all about the heart, isn't it?
It always seems to go back to that, right?
Yeah.
It does. And when I look at this group, I mean, never met anyone face to face, but you find out you don't need to. There is this connection that, eventually, Trina, we've been doing this, I don't know how many years. And
Wow.
and it's amazing how you form these bonds. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's yeah.
It's like you know each other, even though you never met. It's like there's something really familiar
Yeah.
I think
about all
we're
of
soul
us.
family because
Yeah,
there's a true remembrance, a
bond.
familiarity,
Yeah, familiarity.
an
Yeah,
instant love and trust. It's
there
just
is.
very, very special. And like I
So
said,
strong.
I've
Yeah.
been looking for you all my whole life, and I
Yeah.
always knew
Same
I
here.
would find you, but it took a
Yeah.
while.
It
It's
is. It's
so
like it's here. It's proper here,
Yes.
and it's like
it's
there's
odd
this
that you say
light
that.
going
That exact
out.
term is what I was talking to the goddess. I said, I've been
Yeah.
looking for you all my whole life. I said,
Right.
it's like,
I was
you
right.
know,
You knew there was this piece you had to
Yeah.
find. And oh, yeah,
Do
Wayne,
you know
when I
E.T. when his heart lights up? That's what
yeah,
we get
yes.
like
yeah, yeah.
with the heart
Yes.
lights up.
Well, I started
Yeah.
crying
Yes.
because, I contend all of us just want to be hugged.
Yes.
We want
Yeah.
to just fall into that love. We want to cry. We just want to
Absolutely.
purify
Yes.
our souls. Just we want to just cleanse ourselves of this environment that we've been in. And it's so loving to be in the arms of what I call unconditional love,
I
total
so miss it, I
acceptance.
tell you.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
makes me cry when I think about it because
Me too.
it's such a warm, it's a solitude, and it is a place of, complete peace, substance, I
Yeah,
guess. I don't know. Yeah.
definitely.
Wayne,
Big
Yes.
hug.
you know how I saw Lilith trapped in a magic circle, and then I keep seeing that the earth is going to restar. I wonder if
Hypnotherapy.
the whole thing is just as we are under a mind control program. I wonder if Gaia, the whole earth, has been placed upon the same, and she's going to break that program.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Earth cannot like what's taking place on her. I mean,
No.
And you would never allow it unless you were being taken over.
exactly. I mean, yes. I love the teddy bear, by the
Control.
way.
I manifested him.
Did you
Aww.
see?
Yeah,
You
in
know,
a week.
I see now. I
Heaven.
fall in love with that, and I've got
He's
my
great.
sky pilot right here. So you
Neat.
see now this is interesting because this group has as well. Many of us have our own teddy bears,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Couple of
we
them.
give the hug, and we do it collectively because we all want to hug each other. We just want to have that energy
He's
share.
great for
Yes,
Yes.
hugging. Yeah.
exactly. They're great,
Absolutely.
substitutes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the thing
You
about a
know,
teddy
It's
bear, they just
massive.
love you.
absolutely. And
Hi, Ted.
it's like I said, it's about the energy of the emotion of the feeling. So nothing's real until you feel it. But because we
Right.
feel that love when we hug that teddy bear, it's just like
Yeah.
hugging another human being because you feel the love. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
power. We create by what we feel.
Now
So
you see,
we're
this
going to
is
do
like,
this.
folks, anyone who's watching this and wants to be a part of this, that's the feeling we're going to create.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
egregore we're going to
And
create. Exactly. That
oh,
is
oh,
something that is so powerful. No darkness can ever infringe upon it.
it'll run from a hug.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
does. It
Let's
runs
do
from a hug.
one
Let
lap
me
here.
hug you. It's like, shoot, off they go. It's like,
Yeah.
What
oh,
what was
Come
that
thank
here.
line
you.
George Michael says? We want to kiss the one that always resists.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's true. Very true. I've been there, done that, man.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, I love this group. And the
Mhm.
hour is like come and gone. I mean,
Oh
Poof,
wow.
God, yeah.
You
poof.
That
know,
was super fast.
Yeah.
it's just
Wayne, we look at the power of water. We look at the power of symbols. We look at the mind control that's been used with our language and the word. And, you know, everything can be corrected when we correct it from within us. And we've done a lot of the work already. So this is going to be a powerful thing. Water can change the world. We've seen the effects of Dr. Emoto, where what we think about, it manifests in the water,
Mhm.
and we are water. So
Yeah.
we're going to figure this out, how we can help balance the entire world. And I know a large part of this too is going to be, we're going to start to see miracles and create miracles for the ones we love, with healing and just all these wonderful gifts that we've been not utilizing for a very, very long time. And all of our spirit guides and everybody are just waiting for us to activate and light this whole world up with a new spark.
Yeah.
David Barry's given the link for where you can buy the teddy bear for the Soul Tribe. Speaking of David Barry,
Yes.
join me tomorrow because we've got the boys are
The
back in
boys are
town.
back in
Yeah,
town.
so we've got Grandpa Brian, David Barry, David Castle, Robert V is going to, I think, and he says he may be in the work, but he's going to try to drop in, and Big Al, and so we're going to have a grand time, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
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 So,
That'd be
Oh,
fun.
it's good to see David. I haven't seen him in a while.
yeah,
So,
I'm going to look forward to it. So join me
yeah.
that, and then Thursday I have Courtney Mac coming on, and this is a
Awesome.
chance for her to be introduced to everybody here. You see her in the chat room, so
Yeah.
You know what's
And-
so funny?
what's that,
Wayne,
hon?
David's doing that reading right now on the Celestian Prophecy.
Yes.
That was the book that opened my total consciousness up when I was in
Same
Greece.
here.
I was on the boat in Greece and I got queened on the boat. I had download after download. It was just crazy train. And it all started with that book.
That started for me with that book.
Isn't that amazing? And
That started with the Celestine
that
Prophecy.
shows
yeah, for
you
me.
all the steps on how to
Yeah.
enter into the fifth dimension. That shows
Yeah.
you the exact roadmap on how to do it, on how to change this physical reality through changing your own physical vibration.
Love it.
It's
Hey,
powerful.
Ballot Brand, good to see you, brother. It does. And it, those books, and it had effect on me. So there's something obviously that was incorporated into that energy of those words up to that book. And that's how it works. I mean, they open up once the seed is planted.
Yeah.
If you're the right receptor.
Yep. That's it. You can't unpop that popcorn.
Man, you can't get it back, man. You just can't get it back.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Kaz, much love to you, darling. So good to see you. Every time I see you in the chat room, it's just you are much loved, and you are part of this soul tribe, darling.
Thank you. I love it. I love my soul tribe.
Yes, we love you too.
Yep. And there will be a time when we will all get together, whether it be in this time or another time.
I see Kaz up in her spaceship sometimes. Isn't that awesome, Wayne?
I'm the commander of the spaceship.
When I think of Kaz,
I actually had a flashback of Trina. Remember when we were talking about it?
Really?
Of being in that moment, yeah.
Right on.
It was profound, yeah.
Yeah.
When I see,
Wayne.
when I think of Kaz, I always see you as the treble clef in a stanza of music.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what the stanza is? Yeah.
That's beautiful. Wow. Sound frequency.
That's how I see her.
You see her sound, and I see, I think, a higher dimensional expression of her that literally is a commander of a mothership.
See?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's amazing.
That's all right. You can go ahead and wear it, won't it? That's what I say.
Symphonies in the universe.
And if all time is
with a spaceship.
Right. And if all time is now, if those things are potentially other timelines, but all time is now, that means that we can utilize the power of all of those things that we are in this now moment.
When I'm sitting in that car and I think there's a higher self up there in that spaceship, sometimes I'm going, beam me up, Scotty. Come on.
Right?
Like, come on now,
Literally.
Give me just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I heard, Kaz? You have your own personal healing spot in your ship. So take yourself up there at night while you sleep and go and get your healing done.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
You
Will
got your
All
own
right,
do.
medical
everybody.
center.
Yeah, I'm going to. I need some.
I think we all do.
For sure.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Trina, see you next Tuesday. Kaz, we love you. Always welcome back anytime you want to come on. Just let us know.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
Soul Tribe, love y'all all. You know,
Much
we're
love.
about to change some things. And, you know, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Yes, I am too. I am too.
Yeah.
And I
All
keep
right.
wondering if we're going to end up with a group of about 72. I keep seeing that number over and over again. And that's the angel number, Wayne. So I don't know what's up with that.
We'll see. 72 would be a
Yeah.
powerful number.
Wouldn't it be?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Ashante, asante, ashante, as they would say.
Namaste.
Yeah, yes, indeed. We thank all of you for your energy, and you know, you make it. That's why we do this. It's groovy. So, Trina, see you next week, dear.
Yes.
And Kaz, see you soon. And tomorrow we got the boys are back in town. So,
Yeah.
all right.